Hello everyone, and welcome to Group 6's presentation on how to fight a price war. On today's agenda, we're going to give you a summary of the article. We're going to go through the main conclusions of the article. We're going to give you our critiques and opinions, and we're going to relate this back to the course content we've learned throughout the semester.
So our article was How to Fight a Price War, which was published in Harvard Business Review in 2000. This article focuses on tactics to avoid a price war altogether. So price wars are becoming increasingly common and fierce, creating low price is the appeal, but at the cost of a decline in industry profits. No matter who wins, combatants end up worse off before than when they join the battle. So price wars start because somebody thinks prices in a certain market are too high, or someone is willing to buy market shares at the expense of current margins. Price wars are becoming more common because managers tend to view price changes as easy, quick, and reversible. Pricing battles can escalate quickly when businesses don't know or trust each other well. So understanding causes and characteristics help managers make sensible decisions about how to fight, flee, or start a price war. Intelligent analysis that leads to correct diagnosis will emphasize understanding the opportunities for pricing actions based on current market trends and responding to competitors' actions based on the players and their resources. So businesses should analyze 4 key areas: customer issues, company issues, competitor issues, and contributor issues.
Stop the war before it starts. Reveal strategic intention. This helps ensure competitors understand the rationale behind pricing. Other public statements may communicate to competitors that you prefer to compete on dimensions other than price. Revealing the cost advantage, this making sure that competitors know that your costs are low. This warns them about the potential consequences of a price war. Lower costs can tempt businesses to cut prices, but this may diminish customers' perception of quality and trigger an unprofitable price war. Responding with non-price actions. There's a big focus on quality, not the price. Customer segments have different degrees of sensitivity to price and quality. Understanding the basis for certain concerns help managers respond to rivals' price cuts without cutting their own prices. Alert to customers' risk, specifically to poor quality. Related weapon is to emphasize other negative consequences. Seeking help or appealing to contributors to weigh in on competitive situation. So an example of this would be NutraSweet versus Aspartame, advertising Blitz and the other cola.
So now looking at selective pricing actions that a firm could take when faced with a price war. When using selective pricing actions in response to a price war, it's important to change customers' choices or reframe the price war in the minds of the consumer. There are a few ways to do this. The first would be to use quantity discounts or loyalty programs. This allows the business to avoid across-the-board price cuts and limit price reduction to the vulnerable areas. The second action would be to modify only certain prices. Another possible action would be to create a fighting brand or create a new package. This action was demonstrated by 3M in the Disket market when the KO Corporation entered the market with lower prices, and 3M reacted by launching a Highland product, which was their line of low-price Diskets. The final action that was identified is for the business to cut prices in certain channels, which is the single largest driver of price cuts and resulting price wars is due to excess capacity. So we'll now look at when to initiate and or retaliate to a price war. There are a few circumstances in which the article mentions fighting it out. They are when a competitor threatens your core business. A price cut can signify your intention to fight long and hard. When you can identify a large and growing segment of price-sensitive customers. When you have a cost advantage. When your pockets are deeper than your competitors' pockets. When you can achieve economies of scale by expanding the market. And when a rival can be neutralized or eliminated because of high barriers to market entry and re-entry. And when to retreat. So on rare occasions, discretion is the better. Some businesses choose not to fight price wars and will cede some market share rather than prolong a costly battle.
So the next slide is preparation. Companies should always be looking for a way to reduce price competition, as it can have a negative effect on the entire industry. Preventing a price war would be easy if it were possible to demonstrate the benefits of peace. Diplomatic resolutions are possible, as price leaders engage in subtle diplomacy that use market forces to discipline renegade companies that threaten industry profits. Price leadership is a great way to reduce price competition, but it should be used with discretion, as it may be viewed as anti-competitive. No matter who wins the war, every combatant ends up in a worse place than when they join the battle. There are certain pricing and non-pricing related actions managers can take to neutralize a price war. There are certain situations in which initiation and retaliation is justified. Business managers should always be prepared for competitive price changes.
All right, now on to the critiques and opinions of this article. The first critique we have is that price wars affect industries differently. The auto industry, for example, and dealerships have around 8% margin in Canada on vehicles, whereas grocery stores sell products at around 1 to 2% margin. This allows the auto industry to engage far more in price wars, especially on their luxury products versus grocery stores. Whereas if grocery stores start engaging in price wars, the likelihood of them going out of business is far greater. So the effect on different industries could have been focused more on in this article. Our second critique is that there's not enough focus on the customer's point of view. There are situations where a customer is well off when businesses decide to enter into a price war, and this wasn't really stated too deeply in the article. In the short term, consumers win when companies go into price wars, and this is because goods are cheaper. When goods are cheaper, this allows consumers to have more purchasing power, allowing them to purchase more goods. However, looking in the long term, this is always bad. Why? Because eventually price wars, when they go out through the entire life cycle of the price war, eventually will lead to one company winning or surviving through the price war. This will allow the facilitation of a price increase, as they now have a monopoly over the entire market. Relating this to course content. So the first relation to course content that we found was price elasticity from day 6. Why did we notice this? Well, because inelastic goods entering into a price war is useless. This is because if a good is inelastic, it doesn't matter what the price is, the consumers are going to buy it. So engaging in a price war is literally just cutting profits for everyone and anyone who is engaging in selling that product. The second relation to course content is pricing decisions from day 8. The second of 3 levels in pricing decisions is the market strategy or product level. And this is where a company prices their product based on competition or relative to competition. In doing so, this could engage you directly in a price war if you are to price too low compared to your competition. This will force other businesses in the industry to engage in this price war and try and either match your price or price just below you. The third relation to course content is the price match guarantee, or the everyday low pricing. This is the best way to avoid price wars. And like it was iterated before in the presentation, the best way to win a price war is to not engage in a price war at all. The final relation to course content is directly related to the price wars we discussed in day 19. This is where Professor discussed that price wars are terrible for everyone involved and should be avoided at all costs, which was reiterated in this article. Thank you for your time.